Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Backpack Trader Training Room for Wednesday, July the 30th, 2025. Please note the required risk disclosure. This room is for educational and information purposes only. It is not financial advice. Trade your charts, not mine. Trading of this type carries substantial risks and should only be attempted with funds you can afford to do without. All right, we'll set that aside. We do have a crude oil inventory report coming up at 10:30, so we'll run till about 9:30. Crude picking up a actually. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, that's gonna. Yeah, 46, 40, 51 is going to be the stop and reverse. I made a 2-tick adjustment around this short, but it just touched it back over here. So you go 32 to 51, 19 ticks, 38. We're going to get, I would say 10, and I would take target 1 off at the money management, which will be 61. And target 2 is going to be, or actually, well, 51 is going to be a tick above. 51, 61 is going to be the full stop on the original trade. That's going to be 10 ticks from your entry. Target 4 is 65, gives you 14, so 24. Stop is going to be at 52, since we did get targets there. Actually, we've got our 2 targets. We got 24 ticks, and we're going to be at stop at 52 at the moment. I'm not going to go negative. Soybeans gone too far. YM, that's an early trade. Nope, it's going to go too far, but we do have a short there. Triggering in. $34 ticks on the short. Stop at 473. Crude stop does bump up 1. We're looking for another trade. Unleaded, unfortunately, takes a full stop out on this short. And now we have a new short. YM getting target and trailing now. Long setup on the micro Russell, and the YM stops out. That's going to be a one and done for the YM. Unleaded triggers in. That is a valid trade. Got to the session high. That's not enough for, and we take a full loss on that. Now we go to a short again. Needs to move down 2. That'll be a 5. Long trade on the pound Aussie. Money management is a pip above target 1, so we've got 2 positions queued at target 2. And we need just a little bit more. Money management at 598. We're 597.6, so just 4 more ticks. And another valid trade on Micro Russell, but this one's a short. Short trade on crude as well. Money management on the Micro Russell short. Let's see, did we get there? I was 97.6, so we missed it by 4 ticks. Still full risk on the trade. Now, break even on the Micro Russell and now a long. And we need 5 ticks. And we've set a new session high, 65.5. So that's at least money management there, and money management is sitting right at the bottom of that bar. Target is up there. All right, unleaded I'm going to put up over top of the YM so we can look at the micro NQ. Micro NQ. Looks like probably not in it yet. It's getting synced still. And makes money management. So that's, in all likelihood, that's a missed opportunity. Just a little too early and gone too far to get in sync with. And target 2. So we go to target 3 at the session high. Not much range in micro NQ today. And a second break even on the Micro Russell. Short trade. Still valid on the crude. Stop and reverse on unleaded. That's going to be 1906, which is the session high. So we'll go to, I would take that to 08, which is the full stop. And so far, yep, so far we're still in the short. with that adjustment around the session high. We did move the session high up one tick, but that still keeps us in the short. Crude short is going to cancel. Long on the crude, long trade on crude setup. That would be our third trade. Short did cancel. And unleaded still in the short. Short trade on the micro NQ. Still no trade on soybeans. Actually still in the long, pre-market long. Earlier longs. Michael Russell in a short trade. And we have money management. Yeah, that's got a wick on it. So let's see where we go. Still going to target 3. That did get to money management. 1.7. Crude triggered long, unleaded stopped and reversed the long. And no trades yet on micro NQ. and a third break even on the micro Russell. One loss and 3 break evens. So I'm just caught in the noise right now on the micro Russell. Pound Aussie in the long trade, just missing money management. Short is still valid on the micro NQ. Nope, it just canceled. We've got a crossover green. So the short is canceled on the micro NQ. Long trade for trade number 5 on the micro Russell. Three tick move. Be 65 even. Micro NQ back to its almost to its previous swing high. And a new short on, this will be another stop and reverse on unleaded. Entry at 869, 864, or 1864. And we did get down there. That's nice. Now we got 65. So still in the long. Crude has an exit point at 49, I believe. No, it's maybe higher than that. Yep, it's going to be at 49 because that'll key level to 49. Still in the long on unleaded. Target 3 on the micro NQ trade. Unfortunately, not involved in that because it was just slightly too early. Long on micro Russell that went to the short first and then to the entry, so it's a valid trade. I would probably take the exit point on the crude trade to 47, given where the 50 EMA is. And we have a potential long trade signaled on soybeans. Need the cyan line to cross above the yellow line in the histogram. And now we get a valid short, and we are in that trade on the micro NQ. So micro NQ in its first trade of the day. And I'm going to go ahead and move that exit point to 47 rather. Use the 50 EMA to our advantage. I'm not going to take the stop and reverse at the exit point at the 50 EMA. Hide it behind it. Unleaded, still in the long trade, as is crude actually. And now we have that's a second full loss on the micro Russell in the short. 2 losses and 3 break evens. Need to move down 2, so it'll be 59 flat. And we'll come to target 3 for our target. Money management on the micro NQ. After setting a new session high. Pretty quiet day. And that is loss number 3 on micro Russell. Just stuck in the noise. 6 trades, 3 losses, 3 break evens. Micro Russell not telling us much this morning. It's just going back and forth. So let's put unleaded over there and keep an eye on the YM. YM and the Micro Russells seem to be tracking each other a little better. Soybeans just kind of stuck. Crude still just kind of stuck. Support looks like it's at the 50 EMA, but just drifting upwards along the 50. Just bouncing off of it again and again. Unleaded and crude are still long. Crude in its final trade in the 9 a.m. session. Pound Aussie back at the entry again. We hit the original stop on crude, but I moved down to 47 or to 47 because of the 50 EMA. That's keeping us in the crude trade. Unleaded is also still long. Okay. Soybeans has risen above that possible entry. Looks like we have yep. Cyan is just ever so slightly above the signal line, or the yellow line, signal line. Unleaded stops and reverses. It's adjusted stop and reverse on the nose, it looks like. Hit 64 exactly. So, stop moves up. There. Money management to there. And target down here. And of course, then that's where crude starts to go back up again. Tough morning. YM with a successful long. YM's long since done. Micro NQ still in its first trade of the morning. Seems like it's going to follow the YM upward. It's having to work through 50 and the 200. $50 crossed over up above the 200, but is rolling back down toward the 200 with this down move. Found Aussie in some trouble. YM with a strong upward push. Looks like we're definitely going to get a trade set up on soybeans, but we're going to be beyond the entry, so we'll have to do a get in sync with that one. In the short on unleaded, still in the long on crude. And it is 10 o'clock. I'll go about another 15 minutes here. There's our soybeans trade. Chased it up 2 ticks. So we have a get in sync long on soybeans, short on unleaded, long on, and that, my friends, cancels the stop and the exit. Well, the exit point's not going to change at this point. We've had a swing to 48, so I'm going to leave it at 47. But we are still in the long trade. All right. No changes. Short on unleaded, long on crude. Still on the original long. Missed target by 1 tick. Maybe more than that. That's a larger bar. Target 2, 467 flat. We got down, we missed it by 2 ticks, 467 and a half. Soybeans triggers into the long trade. Soybeans is long. Pound Aussie is long. Micro NQ is short. Unleaded is short. And crude is long. So only 2 charts have completed this morning. 1 and done on YM and 6 trade losing session on Micro Russell and Catapult. YM on Spotlight. Micro NQ stops out its first trade at break even. So how much difference can 1 tick make? We made a 1 tick adjustment in the stop when the 50 came up through. And that has kept us in the long trade. 1 tick, actually 2 tick adjustment to the stop and reverse. When we came to the original stop, we'd adjusted one tick below that. And so we're still in this long back here. I have to close that trade out at some point before the crude inventory report, wherever it is. There's a long setup. See how long that took to, or how long that stayed at the entry. I'm going to assume at this point it's getting sync. And it hits the stop, so that means a no trade. Assuming we didn't have time to get in that. Let's take a look at that one and be sure. I use a 4-second chart to look at this. All right, there's my yeah, unfortunately we would have been in that trade. When we touched the entry, it was 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, about 20 seconds in, so that we should have had the order in, and that would be a loser. So that is loss number one. Break even, one loss. Unleaded still short, crude still long. Both of those will need to close out before the crude inventory report. I would say maybe 5 minutes before. Short trade on the micro NQ. That hung around the entry long enough, we should have gotten into that. And loss number two on the micro NQ. Four wins, 3 losses, or 6 trades. That's our power of quitting rules. for the micro NQ as well as for the micro Russell. Unleaded, but trying to push down through the 50, as is crude. $50 EMA and the 50-cent level acting as support on crude. And rejected off of both. Pound Aussie gets showing us the zebra stripes down close to the stop. Trying to pull up now. See if it can break out of this little, break through the signal line and go back up. It's going to have to go through the moving averages again. All right. We've come to the time that I'm going to have to say goodbye for this session. I'll be back in about 10 minutes with the crude oil inventory report session. New stream. So I will see everybody very, very shortly. Have a good one, and we will see you back in here about 10:25.